The day started off well. I'd made a nostalgic discovery.
Hey, I just found my old CD collection in my basement.
Little did I realize the danger my beloved one-of-a-kind mixed CD was in.
Memories with it.
A CD player that old and decrepit, as soon as I pressed play, it jammed. The disc reader held on to the best and the worst memories of my youth. Make no mistake, some of the worst memories of my youth, but I had to get it back. I tried to gently release the latch to prevent further damage. But it was too late. At that point, I knew there was only one option.
Maybe it's time for an upgrade, huh?
But therein lies the question. CD player or CD transport?
Okay, so what is the difference between a transport and a player, though? And why does it matter? Which one should you get over the other? We're going to talk about all of that coming up. I'm Josh. Let's get cracking.
For audio data to be collected off a disc, that disc must be spun and read by a transport, like the 6000 CDT. A transport has no internal DAC, so it lacks the means of transcribing the digital audio data into analog sine waves. In order to actually play the audio off a transport, you'll need an external DAC before plugging it in to the rest of your stereo system. A player, on the other hand, like this CD11, is the combination of a CD transport with an internal DAC, so you can plug a player directly into the rest of your system and it'll be able to play the audio. Now you may be saying, but Josh, you handsome devil, if a player is a transport and a DAC, wouldn't a transport on its own just be worse? To which I say no. No. There's no better or worse in audio. It just depends on the sound you want. Now, a transport doesn't do everything, but it does a few things very well. Its servo mechanism, the brain of the machine, tends to get more out of your CDs with better error correction. Additionally, a transport only has to deliver power to one thing, as opposed to splitting power between a transport and a DAC, so they're often better optimized with higher disc reading quality. But the main reason a CD transport is a mighty contender against a player is the customization and control. A CD transport is a commitment to building the rest of your system, which means you have full ownership and responsibility of what DAC goes with it, what preamp, amplifier, speakers, you get the picture. And while some may view that commitment as a means of painstakingly crafting a stereo system, others may be put off by that kind of investment. They provide superior sonic quality, but a transport can set you back a cool several hundred to a couple $1,000, not to mention the rest of the system you're building around it. That's where a CD player comes in. The one-and-done style means you save money and space that would have gone toward building a more extensive system. There are a ton of players that offer high quality and convenience. Some even go above and beyond the DAC and transport combination. Some CD players even have their own speakers, but those don't often fall into the hi-fi category as they produce a lot of internal noise. Now, the main downside of a player is the lack of customization and control. If you don't love an aspect about your player, you'd have to buy a whole new one to hear a difference in quality. If your player has digital outputs like coaxial or Toslink, you could connect it to an external DAC, but at that point you may be better off getting a transport. On top of that, the internal DAC is competing with the noise the transport inside produces, meaning there's a higher chance for sound degradation.
So which one do you choose? Well, think of it like you're choosing to hire somebody for house repairs, a specialist or a handyman. Now, the specialist does their one job really well, but you'll need to hire more specialists to finish the rest of the job. The handyman, however, can do everything you need and do a good job, but it won't be nearly as good as the specialized touch. Now, you're not actually repairing a house here, so the stakes are a bit lower, but the financial investment can be pretty substantial. So before buying, consider very carefully your CD listening habits along with your budget.
Well, that's the end of this video. Let us know what your CD setup is like in the comments below, and what you're listening to. If you have any further questions on players or transports, give our sales staff a call or visit our website.
As for me, I've decided to go with a transport, so if you'll excuse me,
I'm Josh, and I'll see you next time!